Alright guys, Rubber Tramp Renegade here. Just wanted to bring you a quick update on the van. I guess you could probably tell by the excitement in my face that the van is fixed. Thank you for everybody who was helping me out through this process with suggestions. It's fixed, it runs good, but now I have a new problem, but I'm not too worried about the new problem. The new pumps that came, I started making a video showing you putting those pumps in and everything, but I'm probably not going to edit that together. The new pumps look good, the tanks are cleaned out, they're put in, but now none of my gauges work as far as the fuel gauge. So my rear fuel gauge didn't work originally and my front one did. The reason my rear gauge didn't work is because this float was cracked and fuel was just full, inside that float, and it was just showing that it was empty all the time because that float was at the bottom of the tank. But I don't know what I did wrong with these new pumps or if I did anything wrong at all, but they both show a quarter tank. So I know I've got about 3/4 tank in the front, and I got about a half a tank in the back, and they both show a quarter tank. So I don't know if I did something wrong or if it was just the pump itself that came. I need to call. There's like a 1-800 number on here. I'm probably going to call and see what's going on. If I have to drop the tanks and redo it, I will. But let me show you under the van for anybody who has a Ford van, and a Chevy maybe, I don't know. But I've changed everything, and let me just show you under there, and then I'll go through the process of what happened when my van broke. Alright guys, so under these Ford vans, you have a valve here. This valve here switches between your tanks, and it allows you to use the back tank or the front tank, whichever one. So then you've got this right in here. There is a fuel filter, and it's a cartridge type fuel filter, and then you've got a fuel pump up here, and then you've got a fuel filter up in here too. Alright guys, so I'm under the van again. I was trying to show you in the garage, but the cover was on, and I discovered that I actually had a fuel leak after I fixed the van. So I got under here and fixed that. I just didn't have that canister tight enough, but let me show you that canister now that the cover's off. There's that canister. You basically unscrew this like a oil filter, and there's that filter's inside there, so check that. Alright, well, my camera cut off while I was under there, but anyways, you've got your fuel pumps in your tanks, and then you've got a fuel filter before your inline pump, and here's your inline pump. I have another one here. I ended up not using it, so I have a spare inline pump. I'm just going to throw that in the van back in where my tools are in case I ever need it. But so when you go and tell them you need a filter, everybody at every parts store I went to, they tell you, they give you this canister type, and I don't have the old one in front of me, but it's just like a silver can with the fuel nipple on each end for the fuel line. And I changed that back a year ago. I changed that, and I changed this pump right here, not this one, the one that's on the van now, and it didn't do anything. And then I got on some Ford forums, and I was reading, and somebody said that this van has 4 filters on it, and I knew about the 2 and 1 in each tank. These little filter screens here, that's a filter. So there's 1 in each tank, and then there's that can style that I was changing, and which I changed that again the other day too, and it still didn't do anything. After I put the pumps in the tanks, it didn't do anything. It was still running like crap. It was actually running worse, and I couldn't figure out. But right there in the middle where I showed you, there's that after the valve, before the inline pump, there's this boy here. This right here was what was causing all the problem. Let me show you. See my hands? You see that? That's like, I don't know, it's just real milky feeling. It's just real thick, and it's just black. I don't know if you can see that. That filter is just awful. I don't know what is in that. just dirt or rust or something, but it's black. But that was all it was. That was enough right there to just completely just stop the power to the van because it wasn't getting enough fuel, and I knew it was a fuel pressure problem, but nobody ever mentioned this. Well, some of you guys probably did mention it, but nobody at the parts store. You go in and ask for a fuel filter, they give you the other one. They don't ask which filter you need. So when I went today, they tried to give me the old one, the same can style, and I said, no, I need the cartridge type, and he looked it up and he found it, and that's all it was. So I changed everything. I changed the O2 sensors, I changed the mass airflow sensor, map sensor, the idle air control. I mean, I changed all kinds of stuff on this van. I probably have $300 or so just changing parts, but I knew it was a fuel pressure problem, and if I would have just looked closer on the van, I maybe would have found that filter, but it is hidden. There's a guard around it covering it up where you don't really see it, but it's fixed, so I'm happy. So thanks again for watching, and thanks again for helping me through this process. The van's fixed. It's camping weather, so I'm going to get out and get on some trips and see some of the country. So come with me. I hope you'll join me. Have a good one.